and welcome to Bleep Your Tier List, a show where we go through some tier lists and rank some things. This is something that Thomas has been kind of advocating for a little while.
Because I like tier lists.
This is our fourth new thing that we've done this year.
Our fourth thing.
This is a year of new things.
This is a year of experimentation.
Yeah.
Yes.
So whether you're watching this over on our Patreon or here on YouTube, thank you. We're gonna try to do more of these sort of things, depending on what's like. But we're starting off with something near and dear to especially mine and Thomas's heart. But
mine too. Don't exclude me from this.
I'm not excluding you. I'm just saying
I
that
know.
there is a level of passion that Thomas and I have for Thomas the Tank Engine that I don't think you quite
Not recently, at least.
No, we break through the ceiling. Mason is like punching it. It's close.
Mason, you're like, you know Thomas, you've experienced Thomas, you like Thomas. It was not your entire identity. Like, legitimately for 5 years of my life, my identity was the kid who loved Thomas.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of had to. It was either that or I end up hating this series because it's my fucking name. So
I went through the Thomas phase. It probably didn't last that long, but yeah, it was.
yeah, you were into cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my.
So we're gonna do this little tier list. We're gonna rank things, and whether you agree or disagree, let us know. And this is this is our opinion. So
That being said,
take
if
it
you
as a
disagree
fact.
with us, you're wrong.
Yeah, that being said, you're wrong if you disagree.
get ready for us to disagree with us. That's about to happen. But
Yeah,
we're doing
well, you may see a war.
we're doing
We'll see, quote unquote.
the classic Thomas. This is pre CGI model Thomas trains.
This is season 1 through 7 before Hit bought it out. And for Thomas fans, season 1 through 7 / the Jack in the Pack spinoff that lasted for 13 episodes. That is classic Thomas right before the Hit model series.
There are going to be some where, I go, oh, wow, I'm not as familiar with these, because legitimately I think about season 5 is where I, as a kid, started to age out of Thomas a bit. Still watched it, but was like not as obsessed with it. So there's going to be a few of those that I'm like, oh yeah, that was as I got older character. I remember that, but not as clearly as, say, like, you'll see the ones that I am very passionate about.
You'll see the ones we remember. So,
but all right, we have
I feel like there's going to be quite a few that we're like, what do we do with this?
we have our categories. Really useful engine.
which is that's goated top tier.
That's our best tier. Shiny coat of paint means that they're a good engine and they deserve a shiny coat of paint. Bust my buffers means they've we like them. They work hard. They're fine. But I don't know if they really deserve new coat of paint yet. Cinders and Ashes we're a little frustrated with this engine. We don't think they're bad, but we don't have as much care for them. And then You've caused confusion and delay. You are a bad engine.
You're in trouble. You're a bad engine, Petey.
So shall we kick this off, guys?
Yes.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
All right. Looks like the first on our list is Alfie.
So yes, in this tier list about trains, our first one is an excavator.
Yep. Alfie is, if I'm remembering correctly, he's kind of like the Percy of Jack in the Pack.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of like, if Jack is the Thomas, Alfie is like the Percy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And Thomas is not a stranger to having different cranes and whatnot be personalities.
Right.
It is weird. Like they originally, you remember the crane that they pull?
That
had no personality in the early seasons, but later on they would make everything have a personality. I'm just gonna. I think I would put Alfie in Bust My Buffers.
Yeah, Alfie's good. Alfie, he does his job, but he's not like a character I love.
And he's memorable because he is unique. It's something they would do a lot of later on, especially in the CGI world. Mm-hmm. But I don't think I hold him up in the top tiers.
His catchphrase is "More dirt is more fun."
Yeah.
Do with that what you will.
My thing.
Then he definitely is Bust My Buffers. His buffers have been so busted.
My thing is, I'm gonna be kind of nice towards the Jack in the Pack characters because I know the behind the scenes of them, and they had to make models that were fucking ginormous for all the moving parts in them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they had so many moving parts. So I'm going to be a little nicer to them, but yeah, Alfie, bust my buffers.
Bust my buffers. So our first one, bust my buffers. All right.
All right.
Annie and Clarabelle. I personally have a very soft spot for Annie and Clarabelle.
I really like Annie and Clarabelle.
They in the later stuff and the CGI stuff, I feel like they get a little annoying, and things like that. They're more kind of like nagging friends of Thomas instead of like Thomas's like. I always treated them kind of like Thomas's like sisters.
Yeah, that's kind of
That's
how
kind
I
of how I treated them, but they feel more like nagging parents in the later stuff
Yeah.
than they do as sisters.
But
they sort of their purpose, it sort of seems like, is to keep Thomas from going insane and having people to talk to.
And also just I think keep Thomas on the right path. They're always like, Thomas, don't do that.
he said, don't be an idiot, Thomas. Oh, you're an idiot. All right.
And another thing about Annie and Clarabelle that boosts them up for me personally is that they were the first female characters to be introduced on the show.
This is true.
They were.
They feel very unique because I don't think anybody else has cars named. Obviously, you have the
Toby. Toby has Henrietta, but
that's true. Toby
that's
does
the
have
only
Henrietta.
one.
You're right. I think shiny coat of paint.
That's where I was.
That's,
honestly
I
going
was
to.
I
That's
was
A
thinking
tier.
that shiny coat of paint.
Absolutely.
I don't think they are top tier, but they are underrated. I think in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I will say that I never was able to acquire an Annie and Clarabelle in the the diecast models. I only had a Thomas, and I always wanted an Annie and Clarabelle, and never was able to get them because they were always sold out.
I don't think I had an Annie and Clarabelle in the diecast model. I had them in the wooden railway.
Same. I had a lot of them in the wooden railway, but
I
yeah.
had an Annie and Clarabelle with a Thomas that was like motorized. It was like bigger, and it had a switch that you could turn on, and it would move.
Oh,
on its
you and
own.
your
I had-
fancy smancy motorized.
Yeah, look at me with my fancy Thomas
And
toys.
see, I did have that. So
Yeah.
All right,
with the like rubber treads on the tires that I used to eat. Anyways.
These are characters I'm not as familiar with. Ari and Bert.
yeah, Ari and Bert. From what I'm also not very familiar with them. From what I see, they're the dickheads. They're kind of like the cocky diesels.
Since we don't have a lot of familiarity, are we okay just to throw them in cinders and ashes?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think so.
Hey, if you love Ari and Bert, give an impassioned defense in the comments. Let us know why we should have put them higher. Arthur.
That's
Again,
another one. I'm
my
not as
familiarity
familiar
with Arthur is it felt like kind of a clone of some of the other trains.
Yeah, Arthur is one of those characters who I know a lot of people really like Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
Again, anytime there was kind of an episode about Arthur, I was just kind of like, yeah, the Arthur.
I
the
kind
Arthur
of
thing.
felt like he was a tamed down James at times, and maybe that's just the coat of paint.
Yeah.
His whole thing is he's kind of like every Thomas character. He's reliable, he's helpful, but that's kind of all he is. His whole thing is he has a spotless record. Like he's super good at being a spotless
So
record.
he is a palette swapped Edward, more or less.
Basically, yeah.
I like Arthur, but don't necessarily. Are we bust my buffers? Is kind
I
of
think so. Yeah.
See,
Like-
I was gonna put him. Yeah, bust my buffers.
Bust my buffers because I was
gonna
think
say
he's valuable.
I was gonna say cinders and ashes, but I'm like that's a bit harsh. So.
I think he's a very valuable character, but I think compared to a lot of what it came before, he's not. He doesn't live up to those levels.
I
Right.
will also say, because part of what I'm gonna be part of what goes into my ranking personally is the character design, and I think personally Arthur's the best looking character that we've had so far.
Well,
He's at least he's got my favorite design.
all right. Let's see what we got here. Ben.
Ben,
I love the twins.
see, because for me it's weird that they're separate. Because for me they're such a joint package.
It's true. Do they separate? They do separate Donald and Douglas.
They do separate. For that I understand
because they are a little bit more.
Because I believe Douglas has his big episode with Escape.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's either Donald or Douglas. But for Bill and Ben, they're always a joint package. So I don't know why they're separate.
When we get to Donald and Douglas, I'll tell the story of Donald and Douglas. But with Bill and Ben, I always wanted both of the toys. And Ben was the only one that was available everywhere. Bill was the rare one, and so I could never complete the set. So at one point, I had multiple Bens, and if I remember right, I took Sharpie on one of the ends and wrote Bill on it, so I could have them both. They're kind of intertwining, so I don't necessarily know if I could separate them into it. I really think shiny coat of paint. Like I love them. They're unique. They're weird. Maybe they don't have a ton of personality at times, but I love the designs.
See, I would honestly, I was either thinking Bust My Buffers or Cinders and Ashes, honestly. Maybe Bust My Buffers. I'll be a little bit nicer.
Yeah, I was going with Bust My Buffers,
Okay.
but that's also because like Bill and Ben have never really. Actually,
And so,
I may do shiny coat of paint because my favorite thing about them is they're assholes.
yeah,
Like that one episode where they fuck with Boko. That's great.
And I will say, look, part of the shiny coat of paint is partly because the toy. Like, legitimately, the toy is high up in my mind. They were so cool. They're smaller. They were smaller, but they're just unique. I loved Bill and Ben. But I'm okay. I'm okay with Bust My Buffers. I don't hold them as high up as the other set of twins that we'll get to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Ben, Bust My Buffers.
Yeah, I think I
think
can
that's
compromise
good.
with that one.
That's fine. Do we want to?
Do we just want to put Ben up there?
I want to say Ben, though, is top tier Bust My Buffers. Are we okay with that?
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was an order to that.
That isn't necessarily, but just for my
Just for
for
your
your sake.
just for your
aesthetic
sake.
we're saying top tier.
Just for your
That's
sake,
fine.
yes.
Yes, sure.
We can put Ben up there.
Birdie is a really useful engine. I will hear no slander on Birdie.
Birdie's great.
Yeah.
Birdie's great.
I will hear no slander on Birdie. I love
he's
Birdie.
Thomas's Shadow the Hedgehog. He has to be up there.
I love Birdie.
You don't like Shadow.
I know, but I like Birdie. I'm a hypocrite.
For me,
What's the matter? You've never seen a hypocrite before.
for me, Birdie is so cool. The fact that they introduce him in a race is the first time.
Yeah.
And he's like, cars are better than trains. And Thomas is like, nuh-uh. And he's like, let's race.
Yeah, and they just kind of race all the time now. I like that.
Birdie is our first top tier. Birdie is
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Birdie's great.
Okay, one I'm familiar with, but not as familiar with, Bertram.
Bertram. Yeah, Bertram is one that I'm like... Bertram, I mean, we've had kind of Ari and Bert, but I at least knew of them. Bertram's the first one where I'm like, who?
Because the thing is, I know of Bertram, but I know him from later on. Like, later on, I don't remember him in the classic stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am. Like, I remember him from later on, like maybe some CGI stuff, but I don't really remember him.
Bertram has an incredibly ugly design and shares a name with an incredibly annoying Family Guy character. Confusion and Delay. He's going bottom tier for me.
I don't think that picture's that good because I couldn't fucking recognize him.
He's the dirty one. He's the very dirty engine.
Yeah, I like Bertram enough, but he's another one where he's like he's okay, like he's cool.
I would not put him cause confusion and delay yet. I'd say Cinders and Ashes.
All right, I can compromise with Cinders
yeah,
and Ashes,
I can
think.
put Cinders and
Okay.
Ashes. Again, I know the narrow gauge engines have huge fans, and I'll put some narrow gauge engines.
We're gonna get to the good ones here soon.
Yeah, we'll get to the good narrow gauge engines.
Are we just going Bill with Ben?
yeah,
That would feel I'd feel bad if I separated them.
Boko.
Boko, I'm honestly putting in the same tier as Bill and Ben, if only because, again, my favorite memory of Boko is that episode where Bill and Ben is just fucking with him the whole time.
That's fair. I don't have a whole lot of connection to Boko. I'm okay with it.
But
Mason,
that's
are-
just me.
Are you okay with Bust My Buffers, or are you gonna give an impassioned defense of Boko,
Well,
or an impassioned slander of Boko?
I feel like as an engine that is able to put up with Ben and Bill's bullcrap, I think that deserves shiny coat of paint, personally. But I can compromise with Bust My
Yeah,
Buffers.
I'll also say Boko was like one of the first, if not the first, good diesel.
What if we go ahead of Ben and Bill on Bust My Buffers?
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm like, Boko was also the first good diesel, I believe. Like he was the
Yeah.
first diesel who wasn't a dick.
What about Daisy?
No, Daisy was before. You're correct. Yes.
Daisy definitely. And we'll get to her really soon. I
like Daisy. So
I have no idea who Boulder is.
the boulder. That's from the fucking episode where the boulder's possessed. That's from the episode where the boulder's fucking chasing. Is it Rheneas? Is it Renee? Is he
Yeah,
just
I think
He's not just a boulder. He's a rock.
Yeah, because I don't know why he's here. I'm honestly tempted to put him in really useful engine for memes, but in all honesty, no, he has to go in confusion and delay
because he causes confusion and delay. That's
He literally blows up a fucking shed.
His literal purpose is confusion and delay.
He's also not an engine.
He's not an engine. He's not a car.
He's not a
vehicle.
He's not sentient.
Yes and no. The episode weirdly ends with Sir Topham Hatt saying there's an angry spirit in the boulder, possibly. So,
jeez.
But yeah, he has to go in confusion and delay
It's
because
such a weird. That's so weird for Thomas. Like I know Thomas does some weird things at times.
Well,
but
like Thomas never really delves into the supernatural except for Thomas and the Magic Railroad, and a lot of people didn't even like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was precessed by this, where it was like. There's an angry ghost in the boulder. What? Sir Topham Hatt, are you off your meds?
Alrighty. Bulgy.
Bulgy, I kind of just view him as like an angrier birdie.
A less interesting birdie is kind of my feeling.
Yeah. Again, he has couple good episodes, like the one where he gets stuck in the tunnel because he's too damn tall.
Oh, look, I love double-decker buses. The design, the look, I love double-decker buses.
The designs of double-decker buses.
Bulgy is just not very interesting.
See, when I see Bulgy and when I think of double-decker buses, I think of the double-decker bus chase in that one Bond movie. So that puts him at shiny coat of paint for me. Do you remember which one it was?
God damn it. It's a Roger Moore one.
Where he crashes into the bridge and it chops off.
Yeah, it's a Roger Moore one. I can remember that. I think it's The Man with the Golden Gun. No, is it Live and Let Die? I know it's one of the first Roger Moore ones.
And I'm okay if we want to put him in shiny coat of paint.
It's
Live and Let Die.
Okay, so yeah, it is Live and Let Die. Okay, Bulgy is. I put him in Bust My Buffers personally because like he's okay. That's just me. Are you okay with that, Mason? Or do you?
Yeah.
Are you gonna impassionately defend shiny coat of paint?
If this were just me, I would go with shiny coat of paint, but I can compromise with.
Okay, so the Bulgy is now there. Bulstrode.
I remember nothing about this character except that he fucking dies.
Jeez.
Because that is the episode where Percy piles on like several cars of boulders onto him, and he just fucking dies. That's what I remember.
This is our first and possibly only boat.
Yeah, because I don't think they really got into boats until the CGI series.
Cinders and Ashes. Everyone okay?
Yeah,
but I mean, did he die for us to put him on Cinders and Ashes though?
I mean, he was kind of a dick.
Okay.
So,
all right, Buster.
Buster, another one I don't remember that much of.
I have no. We're gonna go for here. We were a couple of that. I just don't have much.
Oh yeah, he's the steamroller.
Oh,
that's right. He's a part of the Jack in the Pack. That's right.
Okay.
I used to be really obsessed with steamrollers when I was a child.
Yeah, he's one of two. So it's either do we like him or George more?
Because George is right here.
Yeah, because Buster is like he's nicer George. Basically, he's kinder George. I like him because there's a really great episode where he's racing two truck twins, Max and Moxie, I believe is their name. And it's a tortoise and the hare story. But one of my favorite bits is where they crash into the side ditch and the things are covering their faces, and Buster just slowly trots by smiling.
All right. Do we, on that, more or less than Alfie?
I put him about the same as Alfie. So.
Okay. We okay? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Bust My Buffers category is quite large. It'll probably be the most. All right.
We're going to have a lot of Bust My Buffers.
Byron.
I
remember him. I remember the toy. And I remember having very little feelings for him.
He's a bulldozer.
Yeah, he's a bulldozer.
Yeah. I'm
kind of the thing. He's a bulldozer. Another Jack in the Pack character.
Another construction vehicle I was obsessed with as a kid.
Considering they had, I think, a lot cooler. I know he's a bulldozer, so he's not technically a tractor, but they had a lot more cooler tractors. I kind of nothing to Byron.
Yeah, his whole thing is he's excited to work. He's very proud of his talents. He's not exactly the construction James, but he's kind of close. So.
Not as vain as James.
Not as vain. No, James is vain as fuck.
I would vote Cinders and Ashes, but if you guys want to get me off that category and go with Bust My Buffers, you can.
I'm not impassionate about him, so we can go with.
All right, Caroline. This is Sir Topham Hatt's car, right?
I believe it's one of them. Again, a lot of these I'm gonna have like the episodes I remember, because one of my favorite episodes in the entire show has Caroline in it, where Sir Topham Hatt's just trying to get to his wedding, and poor Caroline breaks down in the middle of the road. The poor girl.
Oh, man.
This is Shiny Coat of Paint. This has to be Shiny Coat of Paint.
It has to be, because I love Caroline. She's always nice, and she's an old raggedy car, but she's trying. I love Caroline.
She's trying so hard, and look, I don't think Sir Topham Hatt is the easiest to transport around.
Probably not. No.
It also helps that it's one of my favorite bits of animation, quote unquote, in the series, where she tips over. It's either her or George, I forget which one, but one of them tips over, and Sir Topham Hatt like cartwheels out of it and falls in the fucking mud. Yeah. Because that whole episode is Sir Topham Hatt getting his ass kicked.
Poor Sir Topham Hatt.
Class 40.
Class 40.
My favorite band. I love City Escape.
I have very little connection. Honestly, this is a Cinder and Ashes for me, unless you want to.
It's probably going to be Cinders and Ashes again. Another one I don't have that much of a connection to.
I didn't like. They did this several times with the bulge design on top of the face that came down the engine, and because they were adding the face on the as they're getting away from steam engines and more into these that. Whereas Daisy will look really good with like the full square, they had like this extra bulge because of the way engines were looking on the top of it.
I don't like his face.
I'm not a class for it, I don't think it's a confusion and delay. No, but it's definitely lower tier Cinders and Ashes.
All right, I can already see the next one. Cranky's really
useful.
Cranky is absolutely a really
really. I'm gonna be the one that for the Diesel characters that I know more. I'm gonna be advocating for.
Cranky is awesome.
Cranky's awesome. Cranky, he's another. I like characters that are dicks, but they mean well.
Yeah.
And Cranky's a great character.
He's a D-bag simply because he wants to get work done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In his way. And when you don't do it his way...
Yeah, he immediately thinks, oh, you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Back-to-back really useful engines. Daisy is absolutely a really useful engine. I
do really like Daisy. She was the first good diesel and the first female engine.
Oh.
So...
Yeah, that's got to count for something.
For that, we could put it in really useful engine.
Her toy was awesome.
I did really like her toy. Even as a kid, I always got her confused with Boco because they were both long grain diesels. And I was an idiot.
And maybe her personality isn't always necessarily there, but I love Daisy.
Daisy's cool. Daisy's nice.
We're cool with you, Daisy.
I'm okay with pushing her to as we go through to the lower half of really useful engine, but I think she deserves that top tier.
Right.
Derek.
Another one where I kind of have nothing on him. He's a good guy. He works hard, but
I remember liking his design, but always like in this picture, and I remember the thing is, it always felt like his face looked like a slice of bread.
It does. Too.
It does. You're right. I can't unsee it now.
I think Derek is Cinders and Ashes, but not as low as say like Class 40. I'd put him top tier Cinders.
Yeah, and Ashes. He's top tier. He's close to. Bust My Buffers, but
there's just not enough for him. All right, Diesel 10.
Diesel. I mean, objectively, he goes in confusion and delay because he tries to kill Thomas and friends. But
that's pretty unforgivable.
He is the biggest villain of Thomas the Tank.
But he looks so cool, though.
He does.
Diesel 10 is. Okay, well, yeah, if we're talking if we were actually on fucking Sodor, I'd go in confusion and delay, but as a character, it's top tier. I don't know if it's really useful engine top tier, but it's at least high shiny coat of paint.
Yeah, but I don't.
No, he is really useful. He's
really useful.
Because we're gonna go with this, and this will piggyback off for Diesel to Diesel 10. I think Diesel is a shiny coat of paint because he is cool, unique. Diesel 10 takes what they did awesome with Diesel and elevated it.
Because Diesel's just an asshole.
Yes.
Diesel's like, he's the guy who kind of fucks with people.
This is
Diesel
where I would put
10's
Diesel.
a fucking Bond villain.
This is where I would put Diesel. Diesel 10 would be a really useful engine. Now, you could argue and we could flip-flop. We could do different things.
I don't know how I feel about putting Diesel 10 above Anning and Clarabelle and Caroline.
Okay.
That's fair.
Would you think we should...
I think they're...
Okay.
You think really useful?
Because I mean, he is really cool. He's a great villain, but again, he tried to kill Thomas.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just talking like as characters.
Yeah, we're tier listing characters, not necessarily always their actions.
Yeah,
But that's
But I can't separate the character from the action, though.
all right.
that's fair.
Then where are you putting Diesel?
And Diesel, I would put in really useful engine because he doesn't try to murder anybody. He's just a dick.
So you think Diesel better than Diesel 10?
Yes.
See, it's funny because me and Sean are opposite opinions.
But honestly,
I can see that. Honestly, I like this ranking. So
I will accept it. It's not necessarily there. All right. I will hear no objections. This is there. Donald is a really useful engine, and I will tell you why.
Oh boy.
When I was 6 years old, my dad came back home from New York City, and he found an engine I had never gotten and really hadn't seen in the show. It was Donald. And Donald and Douglas are some of my absolute favorite. They're Scottish, for God's sake.
I mean, obviously, obviously, I gotta be like, yeah, the Scots. But
Donald, I put in really useful. Douglas is not as interesting. I would put him in shiny coat of paint.
Oh, are we really separating them?
I would, actually, because I think Donald has more personality than Douglas.
yeah, I'm trying to goddamn think of
Oh, that's
which
dangerous.
swap them. That's me. I swap them because Douglas was an escape. Douglas was the one who saved Oliver.
Then I will
from
not
being
be swapping.
scrapped.
We will be doing Donald and Douglas in both in really useful.
Yay!
Yeah, I'm okay with that
Okay.
Because I will hear
you-
nothing on Donald not on the top tier.
That's fair. It's just Douglas was an escape. Douglas saved Oliver's life. So
All
Wow.
right. Dowager hat.
Oh, this is our first human.
yeah,
I-
who is that? Oh, that's Topham Hatt's mom.
Oh, well, we gotta put her in really useful, right?
Doing.
She birthed the greatest human
greatest
character on the show.
I thought you were gonna stop it. She birthed the greatest human.
She birthed the greatest human ever. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll put her like that top tier.
I'd put her in the same area as Caroline.
I think that's probably fair, but
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
it's just she's another one where it's like she's fun, she's fine.
Another one I will hear no objections. Duck has to be really useful.
Duck's great.
Duck has to be the top right now. Duck is the most unique looking engine, the coolest engine, and also as a kid I fucking loved Duck so much so that I named the engine that was in our local park that was just a black steam engine, the Black Duck, because Duck was one of my favorites, and I was convinced that engine's faceplate was going to fall off and have a face, and it was going to take me on a magical journey.
All right, then. So, really useful engine it is.
It's also Duck is a fan favorite. There are a lot of people who just love Duck, and for good reason. He's loyal. He's a good guy. He's the great Western engine. He's
also the coolest design, I think, of any engine.
I wouldn't go that far.
I wouldn't go that far personally, but I like the tender engines. So
That's fair. I love Duck.
and that's all right.
All right, Duke.
Duke, I don't know if he's really useful engine, but he's at least shiny coat of paint.
That's fair.
I love Duke.
I would put him more on the lower end of shiny coat of paint, but I would put him in shiny coat of paint.
Yeah, well, Duke's. Duke is one of those. He's the mentor character.
Mm-hmm.
He's wise. He's patient. He's kind of the father figure of the narrow gauge engines. So
That's fair.
Yeah. I personally, I'm not a fan of his design all that much, but
His color is a little pukey.
A little bit, yeah.
But I like him. I like him a lot.
But I think his character more than makes up for that.
Duncan.
Duncan.
Dunkin' Donuts.
He's another Scot, so I gotta vouch for him. But, he was the character who rocked and rolled a lot and fell off the tracks. So
I think Bust My Buffers is where I put him. I'd put him kind of right in front of Bulgy.
Probably.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Like I like some of his character
I-
stuff, but I think Bulgy is a better design, but Duncan does a lot more character wise.
Duncan, I'd put a bit higher just because he has a lot of development. He goes from being this angry son of a bitch to.
Do you want to keep him in Bust My Buffers, or do you think
we can put him like Bust My Buffers, but really high Bust My Buffers in my opinion.
Okay, we'll put him above Boko. All right, Edward.
Edward's really useful.
Edward's got.
It feels like you can't not put him in really useful.
Edward's one of the OGs.
Yeah, Edward.
All right.
Another one.
I put him below Duck. Do we agree?
I'd put him above Doug personally.
I'd put. No matter what we do, the Thomas fan base will not be happy because Duck and Edward are two fan favorites.
I think we put him right here. I think we put him right here. He's above Birdie, slightly below Duck, because there is a little in design, a little repetitiveness with Edward just being slightly longer Thomas.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Which is not wrong.
He's also Blue James.
Which is not necessarily wrong, but Duck is, I think, just what I'm separating is Duck is such a unique design versus something we see a lot more of.
That's fair.
But
they're both also similar with the whole wise mentor thing going on.
Edward is weirdly the wise mentor, but also he's like a teenager. He's like the teenager that's been through stuff.
Yeah,
he's the older brother,
but he's not the troublesome older brother like James.
No, James is but Edward is. Yeah.
Edward's the good older brother.
Yes.
Elizabeth.
I like Elizabeth.
I remember Elizabeth, but I don't like.
I never liked her design. Honestly,
yeah, she's like a weird.
Honestly, I feel like
thing.
she is our first engine that's in the bottom tier.
Really?
Yeah. Well, actually, she's not even an engine. She's like a truck.
Yeah,
thing.
our first.
Our
first
vehicle.
Our first vehicle. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd put her that low, but I'm okay with it because I'm not about to passionately defend Elizabeth. She's an okay character, but we're
about to get into one. We've gotten through a couple. Obviously Daisy was one of my favorite female characters. We're about to get to another great female character. Elizabeth is just kind of.
She's just kind of there.
Boxy. Not even just. Bulky is, I guess, a word for like the design, the engine, the vehicle. It just, I don't know. I never was a fan. So, Emily, either shiny coat of paint or really useful.
I'd go really useful.
I'd go really useful.
I would put her right behind Daisy, simply for I think she might be a better character, but I think Daisy was more important and iconic at the outset.
At the outset, yeah, but keep in mind, Emily is
the female character now.
Emily's the female Thomas character. She was the first one in the main tree, in the main group.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think it's fine putting her there. Emily's really useful. So.
And also just a great design. I love that.
Emily might be my personal favorite steam engine design. I love the one big wheel, or the one exposed wheel.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Oh,
I love the way it looks like that. Her paint, her coat, like her outside is like almost like a cloak put over her. It's
Emily
so cool.
Emily is a great design.
It's funny that she has such an elegant design for a character who's kind of a roughneck.
Mm-hmm. A little, yeah.
All right, Fergus.
It's an interesting dichotomy.
What do we think of Fergus?
It's the second chapter of Who. I was like, I don't remember.
Fergus is one of the skinnier ones, and design-wise felt like Thomas more than anything else. Now, personality, I don't think even the slightest bit.
No,
but
I'd go with Bust My Buffers.
I'm okay with that.
I like his design.
Yeah,
I like him. He's a little cool guy.
I would put him behind Ben and Bill, but above Bulgy.
I'm kind of okay with that. Yeah.
He's got kind of the same thing that Emily has with like the bigger wheel in the back, which
I'm
a sucker for.
Yeah.
We got George here.
George,
the other where we put Buster here.
I'd put him like maybe right behind Buster.
Okay.
I don't know what the point is of having two steamroller characters. Wait, George. Was I confusing him? I think I might have been confusing him for another character.
Still,
He is a steamroller.
he is.
I know he is a steamroller, but in terms of personality, I'm like, did I confuse him for another character? Okay, no, I wasn't. I was confusing him for another character. Yeah, he's kind of the asshole. He's kind of the stubborn, grumpy bitch.
I don't care for a lot of the steamrollers that much, but I think Buster is slightly better.
I like Buster a bit more just because he has that great moment
All
in
right.
Jack in the Pack. So
To a big one here.
Gordon is really useful.
Gordon's really useful.
He's really useful.
He's got
absolutely.
I would say third on this really useful tier.
Yeah.
I might put him above Edward, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
His design is a little more unique for the early engines, being that he is the big one.
Yeah. And
Edward, though, is just such a sweetheart versus Gordon's...
that's fair.
Gordon's the bombastic, kind of full of himself, pompous dick. Not as much as James, but James...
But also, I will say, Gordon does have the more unique look of the old one. Also, one of the most unique faces in the entire series.
Unique face, unique look. Gordon's Hill in general is just now a staple of the series.
I would put him 2, actually. I think after that, I would put him slightly above Edward.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
It's ever so slightly. All right.
Going into Harold, another, I think, really useful engine character.
I think I'd put him shiny coat of paint.
High shiny coat.
Yes.
I really like
I would put
Harold.
him below Annie. This is what I think. I love Harold. I love the design. I love the use of Harold. But also, he kind of disappears for long periods of time.
Yeah, but if Harold was a more consistent character, I think he'd be really useful.
I agree.
But he just kind of pops in and out every now and again. I think they were trying to make him like Percy's Birdie, like the not train who's conflicting with the steam engines.
Who thinks he's better than engines?
Yeah, but he's kind of just the guy who's like, he has one of my favorite deliveries from every narrator. I always love the way, I think it's George Carlin goes, bye-bye, and he just rises up.
Yep.
I love the way he says that.
Harold is my favorite non-train character.
See, mine's Birdie, but... actually, mine might be Cranky.
We're going to get to mine. We haven't gotten to mine yet. Harvey.
Harvey
is unique in that I think, is Harvey the first quote-unquote fat character?
He's more like he's got a crane on his back.
Because also his face is clearly designed with
he's the chubby.
Yeah, that he has some weight to him.
Harvey is one of the only trains that we've come across so far to have a crane. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty shiny coat of paint of him, to be honest.
He's the only...
I would put him right above Dowager Hat, but behind Caroline.
I'm okay with that.
I'm definitely okay with that.
All right, we have the other Henrietta.
Henrietta, I like because her and Toby are kind of like an old married couple.
But I don't think I can put it above Annie and Clarabelle.
I don't know if I'd put her that high, but I do really like her.
She's nowhere near as iconic as those
I
two.
would put her... I think she is a shiny coat of paint, but I think she is not as iconic as a lot of the other that we have here.
I'd put her behind Duke.
I'd honestly I'd put her high, bust my buffers.
You think here?
Ooh, you think there?
I think there, yeah.
I don't hate it because again, I like Henrietta, but also I don't think we have as much of her as we should.
Yeah, I think the CGI stuff actually does more with her. But
I think
can't
so as well.
remember at the moment.
I'm okay with this. I'm actually okay with that, Mason.
Yeah.
All right, we got another OG, Henry.
Henry, it's really useful. Most of the OGs are going to go in really
I think
useful.
I put really useful, but I think of the OG characters, Henry is my least favorite of the group.
Really?
Of the like, if you go Thomas, Edward, James,
of
Percy,
like the first, we'll say 8.
Yeah, of the first group, Henry does get cast
I was going to say Henry
so
also has the iconic Thomas moment, getting trapped in the tunnel.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the darkest moments.
Honestly, I think I would put Henry below Cranky, but ahead of Daisy in the really useful.
I'm okay with that.
Yes. I love Henry. I love Henry. Henry being very similar design to Gordon, but the exact opposite personality.
Right.
Yeah.
Again, Henry has that iconic Thomas moment of being trapped in the tunnel, but That means he's also responsible for all those stupid clickbait articles. Did Henry die in the tunnel? No, you fucking idiot. Literally watch the show. He gets out like a week later.
Yeah.
So for that, he goes and cinders an... No, I'm kidding.
All right. Horrid lorries.
Well, they've got the word horrid in the name. They can't be that great.
It feels like this is going near the boulder, but...
It might be, because it's another one where I'm like,
I honestly do not... And I'm pretty sure I've seen them, but I don't have much to go off of.
I'd go Cinders and Ashes for them.
What is their name again?
The Horrid Lorries. They've literally got the word horrid in their names.
The Horrid Lorries.
They're disgusting truck train looking things.
I think this is another caused confusion and delay.
I wouldn't go that far down. I would personally say Cinders and Ashes, but I'm not against confusion
I'm not
and delay.
against it, because again, I don't.
I have very little connection to them. I just don't...
It's just they're kind of nothing, so...
Isabella.
Isabella go ding ding.
Isabella. Another big truck character, like another Jack in the Pack character. Like I said, because of the behind-the-scenes stuff, I have a kind of passion for the Jack in the Pack characters because of... I know what they went through to make those damn models. Because they're fucking massive.
Wow.
I feel Isabella is probably top tier Cinder and Ashes. Would you rather put it in Bust My Buffers?
It's top tier Cinders and Ashes, low Bust My Buffer. I'd say Bust My Buffers, low Bust My Buffers.
So right below Arthur?
Yeah.
Okay.
I concur.
I am okay with that. Jack.
Jack's the Thomas of the pack. He's kind of the main guy.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a lot of development. His whole thing is kind of like for the most part, he's just a good worker, but he doesn't like to own up to his own mistakes.
I think
for Christ's sake, he was popular enough to get his own show. That's got to account for something.
The question for me is, do I like him more than Henrietta?
And you don't think you do?
Because that's where I would determine whether he would be end of Shiny Coat of Paint or beginning or in Bust My Buffer. So I'm kind of deciding where, and I think I like Henrietta a little more.
I think so, yeah.
So I think in the end, I think I would put Jack right here. Not that he's necessarily a bad character, but just I feel like that's where he would end up.
I think that's probably fair.
All right. I'm gonna. Okay. James.
Okay. James. Sean's not gonna agree with this. James is above Duck. James might be my favorite character. I goddamn love James.
I agree, really useful engine. I honestly, because of his haughty nature, I think I actually do agree. James will cause the problems a lot of times, but not from malicious intent, more from
because the thing that makes James such a good character for me is that he acts pompous, but he's so insecure.
Mm-hmm. It comes from a lot of insecurity. He is. If any of these characters was a 13-year-old kid, it's James.
It's James.
It is James, yes.
And I think I really do like that. I will accept being the top of really useful. Are you okay with that, Mason?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Jenny Packard.
Jenny is the one who actually leads Jack in the Pack. She's the Sir Topham Hatt of that show.
Jack and the Pack. That makes sense.
Yeah. Part of me wants to put her really high just because she's got an Irish accent, and that's so funny to hear.
Do you put her above Jack, though?
No. I'd put her like right below Jack.
We're right there?
Yeah, about that.
Kelly.
I
know nothing about Kelly. Legitimately, I have absolutely nothing.
Another Jack in the Pack character. She's a truck. She's another truck.
Do you like her more than Isabella?
No.
I'd go high Cinders, yeah.
High Cinders.
Okay.
That's probably where I'd put it.
All right, we have Lady Hat.
Lady Hat is Sir Topham Hatt's wife, which is pretty cool, but she also has no speaking lines in anything she appears in.
She has like no personality is the problem.
That's my big problem.
The big thing is, again, she's the focus of one of my favorite episodes, kind of, because she's who Sir Topham Hatt's trying to get to in the episode where he just the poor man.
Mm-hmm. But I know that they did more
Sir Topham Hatt's.
They did more with her later on.
I think so, yes.
But honestly, because of how little there, I put her in bottom tier.
Really?
I put her in Confusion Delay.
Really?
Simply because there's nothing to her.
She's just the wife.
I wouldn't put her that low.
It's less about her and more about how she isn't used.
Yeah.
I'm okay with bottom cinders and ashes.
I think we'll do that.
I'd go bottom cinders.
But she is probably among these the most unutilized character.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I know that Doher Hat's also underused, but
But she's the mom.
Yeah.
And
Again, birthed the greatest human character in this show, so.
all right, lady.
Lady,
Ladies from...
Ladies from Magic Railroad.
Railroad.
Cute design, very cute design.
I really like her design. She's got a lot of build-up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, something I like about her is she's got a lot of build-up to her appearance. Problem is, that means she doesn't do a lot in the movie.
I would put her middle of Bust My Buffers. Honestly.
I'd put her middle shiny coat, honestly.
See, again, I like her a lot, but I sit here and I go, we put Henrietta at the top of Bust My Buffers. I don't think I like her more than Henrietta.
Yeah.
But again, it feels wrong for me to put her below Diesel 10.
But she's not as interesting as a character as Diesel 10. I would put her...
But Diesel 10 is does such horrible things.
Right behind Bill.
I'd put behind Bill, but it's slightly ahead of Fergus.
Maybe we just have to bring Diesel 10 down.
No, Diesel 10... I honestly would rather have Diesel 10 on the top row, Mason.
Yeah, for me, again, I do like Lady. I
do.
like what they do with her. I think they bring her back, actually, but I don't think I've seen that special.
They bring her back in Color.
I would put her from...
Which is literally like every engine.
Anywhere from right above Fergus to right behind Henrietta is where I would be, is kind of the range I'm feeling.
Honestly, I'd say split the difference, put her right behind Duncan.
Right behind Duncan?
That's where I'm thinking.
That works for me. All right, here's one that I personally will have
doesn't
very
really
high.
work for me, but we'll go with it.
That's
You'll
because
go with it? You'll go with it?
Character. It's okay that Diesel 10 is a bad guy and does terrible things. Diesel 10 is an awesome character.
Okay.
Is the next one Mavis?
Mavis.
Yeah, really useful.
I love Mavis.
Mavis is really useful.
So Daisy was my favorite female growing up, and then Mavis was as I was kind of starting to age out of Thomas. But I had to go out and get a Mavis toy.
I really like Mavis' design.
Mavis, I was going to say, Mavis is another design I just absolutely love.
Personally, I think I would have Mavis as high as 3.
Really? Like,
but I'm okay. Obviously, if you said we can, I think we all agree she's really useful. But that is where I would have her.
I'd put her in between Cranky and Birdie.
I was gonna say that's where I was
here?
thinking. That's where I was thinking.
That's acceptable. Yeah. I will accept that.
Yeah. I really like Mavis a lot. I mean, obviously top fucking tier. Mm-hmm. But for me, it's.
I have a strange affinity for the more boxy looking train characters. The ones that are round and circular, they're fine, but the ones that are square, I'm like...
Just wait till we get to one of my favorite boxy characters that is still coming.
Yes.
I have actually a couple here.
Yes.
Yes. Max and Monty.
They're the dickheads of the Jack in the Pack spinoff. They're these big, again, more trucks.
Yeah, well, a lot of that. That's what
construction is. Yeah, but my favorite thing is, I don't know how high I put them. I'd probably put them Bust My Buffers, but I also kind of want to put them in Shiny Coat of Paint because they have one of my favorite stories about their development.
That would be the highest Jack in the Pack character is what we'd put him if we did Shiny Coat of Paint. Because currently our highest is Jack.
Yeah, because for me, they have one of my favorite stories about their development where they went to an actual construction site to research all these all the vehicles.
Right.
But when they got to Max and Monty, they were like, what are your opinions on the trucks for the construction drivers? And the construction drivers fucking hate the truck drivers because all they do is just drive up, get rock, and drive away.
Wow.
And they're like, these fucking bitches.
So you want to put it Shiny Coat of Paint?
Just for their development story, but that's me. I'm okay putting it Bust My Buffers.
I have less connection, so I think we should go Bust My Buffers.
Yeah, I agree.
I think, honestly, I would put behind Lady.
Yeah, I just realized that. Yeah, I'd put her behind. I put her behind.
Because I don't think in the Jack in the Pack, I think Jack and Jenny are higher up. But I'm okay with being the third Jack in the Pack character.
Yeah. So
Murdoch, cool design.
Murdoch's another cool design, but I don't know if
I honestly top level Cinder and Ashes because just cool design, but not much to it.
Yeah, top Cinders and Ashes, bottom Bust My Buffers.
I'd go mid Bust My Buffers. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
You just like the design that much?
You would have it above like Arthur.
Maybe in between.
Because I don't think it should go ahead of Bulgy. I think Bulgy is kind of the cutoff.
I would go in between. Maybe even either, because another character design in the show that I really like is the really long trains. Again, we haven't gotten to my favorite long train yet, I don't think. But
So can we compromise here? Because Thomas and I have him top center dashes. Compromise right above here. Bust my buffers.
yeah,
Right
I think
above-
we're going
right above
we're going with
Buster.
that, yeah, we haven't gotten to my favorite long train yet, but
All right.
I'm going to be fighting hard to put him in really useful engine, and I think I'm not going to win that one, but
All right.
I'm going to fight.
Not Toby. Ned.
Ned. Volume 3 of who? Like, I don't remember that much about Ned.
I don't have any connection to Ned, honestly. I don't think it goes to confusion and delay.
Oh, wait,
But
Ned. I
Do you-
remember.
do you have something about him?
I
Okay.
would honestly, I would put Ned. I'd put him in shiny coat of paint because that was the toy that I had that I really liked.
Oh.
That seems really high.
I'm just trying to find...
Maybe high bust my buffers then.
I'm just trying to find something. Oh, he's the steam shovel.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't
Okay,
see him.
I would then if we're gonna do that, I would put him above Alfie and Bust My Buffers.
Yeah, I'm about
see,
that.
I would.
Because I don't think he is as important.
Oh, wait, I might have to go with Mason. I don't know if I'd put him as high as Mason, but he has one of my favorite running gags in Jack in the Pack,
Okay.
where things just always fall on his head. Like he's always just working, and Bricks will just be like, "Oh,
Then
God
let's go
damn
through
it."
the do we think he's better than Max and Monty?
I'd go in between Max and Monty and Lady. I'd go right
I'd go
there.
between Max, Moxie, and Boko, but I'm okay with being between Lady.
Okay, so then we're making him the third best Jack in the Pack.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm okay with that. So
Nelson.
another just truck. The trucks I just don't have that much connection to because I'm
Well,
just
'cause
like
they're not trains.
I was just like they're just trucks.
Do we want to? I would put him honestly, probably right above Lady Hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I
yeah,
just
that-
The
Yeah,
one
that's
Nelson
fair.
fan is going to be like, "How dare you?"
That-
well, the Jack in the Pack does have like a cult following, and like again, it's just
I think we've been representing Jack in the Pack decently well.
Yeah.
I think so.
wait,
Yeah.
is
All right.
Nelson a truck?
Yeah, Nelson's a truck.
Okay, I can't.
Old slow coach.
Yeah, he's an old slow coach.
He doesn't
causes
even have a
confusion
name. I've been around since show 1 and I still
You
don't have a name.
Honestly,
She can kind of go lower. Again, I don't.
I would put her bottom tier. Honestly,
really.
This is not necessarily saying that like I nothing it, and that's kind of like I don't.
It's she's not like a bad character. She just
It's kind of there again. If you want to put her in the same area as Lady Hat, that's fine.
I'd put her below Lady Hat. So
I mean,
So-
apparently the narrator of the show disagrees with us because in the episode that she's in, he goes, "Everyone agreed that there was nothing old or slow about Coach, and she will always be really useful indeed. But you know what? Screw you, narrator."
You're with Lady Hat.
Fuck off,
All
George
right,
Carlin.
all right. Oliver,
Oliver's
the wrecking ball,
because
right?
no, that's another.
He's another. Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
he's another excavator.
Yeah, that's right.
I think he's older than Alfie.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's kind of Alfie's mentor. Most of my connection to Oliver actually comes from the CGI era because I just watched Lost Treasure of Sodor, and there's a really funny gag where he and Oliver the Train, because they have the same name, one person is convinced Oliver the Train turned into him.
I would put him. Honestly, I'd put him right behind Lady.
I wouldn't put him above Ned though.
I'd put him behind Bill and Ben.
I'd put him below Murdoch.
So you think? Okay, so you're saying here.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
I'm fine with it. I said I would have him a little higher, but it's the same
Right.
same bracket, so I'm not too
Right.
Oliver the Engine.
Really useful. I love Oliver.
Interesting.
I would put him top tier shiny coat of paint.
I'm okay with that too.
I like Oliver a lot.
The thing I think I like about Oliver is his debut episode is Escape,
It's true.
which is one of the best episodes of the show. But I don't know that if that means I like the character a lot or just that episode.
That's fair. I would put him as I think he is one of the cooler engines introduced, but I don't necessarily. His design is good, but it's I think top tier shiny coat of paint is where I
Tier
think.
shiny.
I would have honestly gone middle shiny coat, maybe even high bust my buffers, but the way where you had him is fine.
Would you rather us move him one back and put Annie and Clarabelle higher?
Two back.
So you
want him above Harold?
Or below Harold, yes.
Below Harold, but above Caroline?
Oh,
Yeah, that's
below
fine.
Harold.
I'm honestly okay with that.
I'm all right with that.
That fits perfectly fine.
Again, I guess we should have prefaced this. We do watch Thomas and Friends, but for me, it's been like a couple months, and they're short episodes.
And-
so, like, I don't remember everything. So I could rewatch this, and this tier list could be different in like a couple weeks.
Which, like lists, it's always fun to come back and look at it and see where we're going to be at in a point in time.
So,
Patrick.
he's
a truck, isn't he?
He's
a
a
semi.
he's a cement mixer.
Oh, okay, he's a cement mixer.
another one where he kind of gets nothing to do.
I would honestly say above Nelson. Cinders and Ashes.
Yeah, that's.
I'm about there.
Are you wanting low? Were you thinking lower or higher there, Mason?
No, well, I was like, well, yeah, I think
it
that's,
is
I think
unique.
that's good.
A cement mixer is unique. He's ugly. Let's just get it already.
I mean,
You didn't have to murder the man.
Cement
Jesus.
mixers aren't exactly like appealing to the eye.
Stop! He's already dead.
I go down here, there. All right, Percy. I assuming really useful.
Really useful,
engine.
really
Really
useful.
useful.
Above, I'd put him above Gordon, honestly. Or no,
Really?
in between Gordon and Edward. Actually,
You put it
Gordon
between
above.
Gordon and Edward.
I would honestly look at number 2 on this list.
Well, because
Percy's the baby.
yeah,
Percy's the youngest.
Percy's the baby brother.
and he's not as useful as Gordon, which is what makes me want him to put him below. But his personality I really like. So
It's just
I am
Yeah,
legitimately,
James.
I am okay with literally anywhere from 1 to right above Birdie. Like that is any of those spots I find.
For me,
no, you know what? Number 1. I would go number 1.
I don't know if I'd put him number 1 because for me personally, I like Percy a lot, but there was a time where the writers were just obsessed with Percy, and like every other episode was a goddamn Percy episode, and it got to a point where it was like, all right, I like Percy. Fuck off.
Percy is the main train in one of my favorite episodes, the Chinese Dragon episode. That puts him at number 1 for
It's
me.
a very good episode. Are we okay with 3? Between Duck and Gordon, or do you
I'd
want
put him above Duck.
I'd put him behind Gordon, so we can split the difference and put him
yeah,
there.
Let's split the
All
difference because
right,
I'm okay with
okay.
that. Let's split the difference.
Are we okay
I
with
think
that?
if we don't put him there, we're going to be arguing about his placement till the sun burns out of the sky.
The point is, we all agree he is a really useful engine.
Yes, obviously.
Absolutely.
Peter Sam.
Justice for Percy.
Who is Peter Sam?
He's another narrow gauge engine. He's the one whose
yeah.
funnel breaks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it's Peter Sam's new funnel.
I'd say mid-tier bust my buffers.
I'm okay with that.
I think behind Bill and Ben, but anywhere in that was where I put him.
We haven't gotten to my favorite narrow gauge engines yet, so we'll get to that.
I think I'd put him right there because I think his personality is a little more than bulgy.
I wouldn't put him above Murdoch, though.
Murdoch, though, I understand the design is everything for you, but Murdoch is kind of a nothing.
Murdoch
He's a
just
cool design. I fully understand that, but like, there's not much to him. Peter Sam at least has a little more personality.
Peter Sam, yeah, he's there. He's cool.
All right.
I
All
like
right,
Peter Sam enough.
Rheneas.
Hey, speaking of one of my favorite, I love Rheneas.
I do really like Rheneas. Now the question is, are you loving him enough to make him really useful, or are you thinking shiny coat of paint with
I'm
him?
thinking shiny coat.
I'm thinking top tier shiny coat.
Wouldn't but above Annie and Clarabelle and Harold?
I think so.
Above Caroline? Really?
I think so.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
All right. What's your reasoning for wanting them low? Wanting him, not thinking he is top tier shiny coat?
Because he's not. I don't think he's as iconic as Annie and Clarabelle or Harold.
I think he is because that's the character they latched. Rheneas is one of the characters they latched onto post the classics.
Yeah, Rheneas does a lot.
Like if you were to put the characters out right now among kids, I think Rheneas is the one that they'd be more apply to.
He's still not my favorite narrow gauge engine. I do really like Rheneas. I like him because he's one of those engines. He's always trying, but he always breaks down because he's old as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
So I
none
think
of
that's
us
a
are
funny-
the kids.
I understand that, and I agree, but I just think that's. Can we compromise and put him between the two?
I still don't like putting him above Harold, but again, we're gonna be here forever.
What are you thinking, Thomas?
That's fair. That's right about where I put him.
All right.
I don't like it, but
now
I'll
we're
take
we're ready for my fight. I love Rusty.
I was gonna put Rusty really high.
I love Rusty.
Because- okay,
Rusty is
so-
behind Duck might be my second favorite design in all of
Really?
them. I love
So you really like Rusty?
the design.
Well, Rusty again. It's those square shaped trains. I really
think
like.
I would probably put Rusty
I-
right above Birdie, but I'm also okay as I don't think I'd put him below Cranky.
Below,
And-
no,
I'd put
he's
him-
above Cranky. But
I'd put him below Diesel, honestly.
really,
so
Yeah.
you think he should be there?
Yes.
for me, one of the reasons I like Rusty is I believe again, I believe it's either him or Rheneas that has the Boulder episode. No, wait. Rusty had a really good episode. I just
Rusty
can't
has
remember.
several good episodes. Rusty, I love Rusty.
Also, fun fact: Rusty is technically, not really, but technically the first gender-neutral engine.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm guessing they either fucked up the printing or fucked up the narration. Because in one book it was, one time it was a he, another time it was a she, and another time it was a they.
And also several of the toys gave a lot more feminine features to the face.
Yeah. So for a while, Rusty was actually gender-neutral. I think that's been now retcon. I think it's just a dude now, but.
I would put Rusty between Mavis and Cranky. That's where I would put Rusty.
But above Henry, though?
See, that's my thing. I'm kind of like above Henry.
Would you rather between Henry and Daisy?
Personally, I'd go between Daisy
We know.
and Donald. But if that's what you're thinking, then, yeah,
That's
sure.
about Henry and Daisy. That's about right.
Okay. I'm fine. I will accept it, despite the fact that I think Rusty may be a little low there, at least a really useful engine. All right, here's one I don't like. Salty.
Oh, I
You
like
don't like
Salty.
Salty?
I don't like Salty.
I like Salty.
What do you know? Well, hold on.
He's a pirate.
State your case about Salty.
It's possible that at the age I was when Salty debuted, it was just slightly out of my age range.
Well, I mean that's fair, but also
And
Salty
that is
was
where I
like-
sit with it.
But Salty's like
Salty just annoyed me.
But he's a pirate. He's
I would put Salty and Bust My Buffers. As you can see, I just don't really like him.
I'm okay with that. I like him more than Bust My Buffers, but I know we'll go to war, so I'm just gonna keep him.
Yeah, right where you have him.
Yeah, right there
Between Lady and Ned?
Between Lady and Ned. No, between Ned and
Max and Monty.
Max and Monty.
Is this acceptable?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Again, I like Salty because he's the old pirate storyteller, but
I
again,
really like
well,
Salty too. I just don't think I like him more than Ned or Lady.
I think I like him more than Ned, but I'm okay putting him there.
Okay.
Again, this is a compromise of all three of us. So.
Do you personally like him more than Lady, though?
No, I don't think I do.
Okay. So then that's a good spot.
Might,
Then
that
that's
might
a
be
really good
that
spot.
might be exclusively because I just adore Lady's design.
Yeah,
But-
I think that's a perfect spot. Then I think I like him less than several of these, but that's a perfectly good spot for me. SC Ruffy.
Wait, Scruffy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the one who dies.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, because
Whoa.
I forget what episode. I think it's Oliver is in this episode where Scruffy gets torn the fucking half, like fucking Sean Bean in the one movie with the horses. I mean, that's a lot.
Ruffy, what happened?
Well, because he gets his brakes locked because he's trying to be stubborn because troublesome trucks, but he gets torn the fucking sunder.
I think Bust My Buffers. I think iconic, but I would put him lower. Bust My Buffers.
Yeah, because he only has the one episode really.
And I honestly, I have a soft spot for the troublesome truck design, and he looks a lot like a troublesome truck. So
Well, yeah.
I would honestly go higher. Bust My Buffers. I'm between Boko and Ben, honestly.
For me,
I wouldn't
it's-
put him above Ben or Bill,
See, for me, it's honestly,
and I wouldn't put him above Fergus.
honestly where you had it between George and Alfie. I was okay with.
Between George and Alfie,
Yeah.
yeah. 'Cause
As long as he's not above Murdoch.
but you're like, you wanted to put him above Murdoch.
Oh wait, I did want to put him above. As long as he's not above Lady, that's what I meant.
All right, Sir Handle.
Sir Handle, another narrow gauge engine, another one that people really like.
Because it is Thomas, but it's narrow Thomas.
Yeah,
The design
narrow
is
Thomas.
the design
Yeah.
is narrow Thomas.
Yeah.
yeah. I like Sir Handle enough. He's not my favorite. Again,
He might be my favorite narrow engine design,
I think
but I don't think I
concur.
like the character as much.
that's fair.
I would say top tier Bust My Buffers.
I'd put him.
I could
below,
see-
I think I'd put him.
I'd put him below Henrietta. But I'd put him below Mrs. Packard.
I'd put him
honestly.
below Salty.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I definitely wouldn't put him above Lady.
Oh no, I wouldn't put him.
Okay,
above Larry.
So there. No, where you had him before. In between Lady and Ned.
That's a good spot, I think.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like we know that Sir Topham Hatt has to be top tier.
Sir Topham Hatt has to be top tier.
Is that even a debate?
Especially this version. I don't necessarily love CG Sir Topham Hatt.
Well, where he's more of a goofus.
Yeah.
But this Sir Topham Hatt, where he's proper prim and proper.
He is the dad.
He's the dad. He's not my favorite human, but my favorite human isn't on here. My favorite human's Mr. Conductor.
Same.
But Sir Topham Hatt.
I think I would put him at the back end of really useful engine. And that I don't think I like him more than any of the engines, but I do really appreciate and like him.
I think I agree, Mason. How do you feel?
I'd put him. I'd honestly put him in above behind Edward maybe, but that's just. But he's still in really useful engine, so that's. And kind of a funny side thing about Sir Topham Hatt. I did a project about him in elementary school once.
I dressed up as him for Halloween.
I dressed up as him for the project.
I just had his wooden toys. I never went crazy.
I never had the wooden toys.
I had the wooden toy.
Yeah, the wooden.
I never had the wooden Sir Topham Hatt.
Look, the amount of times he got hit by trains.
Oh no!
I had to cover him in soap for my project.
Oh,
Scarlouie.
Scarlouie, for me, that's my favorite narrow gauge. I love Scarlouie.
Do you think really useful engine? I do like Scarlouie, or do we think he's top tier shiny coat of paint?
I wouldn't, but
okay, see, because like for me, he's above Rusty, but I'm okay with compromising and putting him in shiny coat.
I wouldn't put him above Sir Handel though.
I would. He's the best. He is the best. I agree with Tom. He is the best. He may not be the best. Sir Handel, I still think is a better design, but I think Scarlouie is by far the best. I think
Scarlouie is the best narrow gauge character.
But above Harold?
Yeah. Honestly,
you're the only one who likes Harold that much.
Look, I'm really going to bat for Harold. I really like Harold.
I like that he's like, I'm really going to bat for Harold. We put Harold up. I was like, he should be top tier shiny coat of paint. And you're like, how dare you disrespect Harold for not putting him in? I would put him right above Sir Topham Hatt. Honestly, I would be okay with putting him above the twins.
I'm okay with the other split. I would put him above the twins too, but that is just me.
Okay, so Thomas and I agree here. Mason, are you okay with
well, obviously I'm outvoted.
No,
so.
but even then,
well, you can still go to bat.
If it were me, I would go in between Caroline and Harvey.
Oh wow, you think down that low?
Well, we say down that low. It's still the second tier.
It's also before I wanted to put him before Sir Handel. So
I think we will agree. We will outvote Mason here.
Yeah, I will admit defeat.
Smudger.
It's another one where it's.
That's another who.
Yeah,
I think Ascender's an Ashish.
Probably, because it's just one that...
this one, like, Sir Handel feels like Skinny Thomas. This feels like Skinny Percy design.
He was also only in one episode, and I don't like his face.
Honestly,
we could put him in... Yeah,
he's a one episode.
If he's just a one episode, yeah, we can put him in Confusion and Delay.
All right, here's an interesting one.
Spencer. Really useful engine.
This is your favorite long engine.
Yes, he is. He is my favorite...
Okay,
really
so now we're going to have to find a compromise because I was going to be like, I put him like lower bust my buffers.
Wow, that low? Really?
Like, I like Spencer, but like... so.
See, I was going to put him in shiny coat of paint, but only because I was going to put him like mid shiny coat of paint.
Okay.
Let's say I would put him between Caroline and Henry personally, or Harvey.
But
for me, that is because I only really like Spencer in a couple episodes. I like him when he has Gordon's rifle. So that's when I like Spencer.
That's fair. I would have had him below Bulgy. That's where I would have had him.
I would honestly put him above. I'd put him between Henry and Cranky.
So you are that high.
Yes.
All right. Can you compromise to second level of shiny coat of paint, Mason?
Can we compromise to first level shiny coat of paint?
Yeah, wow, even above Annie and Clarabelle.
Yes, I really like Spencer. If you can, I will take second.
You'll take.
I'll accept second.
I see, like, because for me, kind of honestly, as I think about it, the tier, the and I know we've nearly put a couple right there, so it's in there, but kind of for me, shiny coat of paint is like Annie and Clarabelle is the definition of shiny coat of paint for me.
That's fair. I'll accept putting him right below Annie and Clarabelle.
I'm okay with that.
I will accept it.
I really like Spencer so much. I like that he's like the train brave enough to challenge Gordon.
That's fair.
That's
this
fair.
is Spiteful Brake Van.
This is another one that doesn't have a name.
He's Spiteful Brake Van. I'm kind of okay with putting him in Cinders and Ashes because he doesn't do a lot.
Do we want to put him above Lady Hat or Old Slow Coach?
Between Lady Hat and Old Slow Coach. That's where
Okay.
I'm thinking.
All right. Oh man. All right. What do we got here? We've got Splodge.
That's a name.
That's one of the minions of Diesel 10 from Magic Railroad. I don't love him as much as I love Diesel 10, so...
I think mid-tier Bust My Buffers is probably where I'd put him. Maybe low. Honestly, I'd probably say low, like maybe right above Isabella.
Yeah. Well, Splatter and Dodge is their names, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they combined him to Splodge.
Yeah, because that's what
I
Diesel
get
10
it.
does.
See, I completely forgot that Diesel 10 even had henchmen. So
Yeah, so... I'm okay putting it...
I'm just gonna fix our window for a few seconds because we are getting a little high on that. Okay. All right. I think are we all okay with Splodge being Bust My Buffers right there?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. Stephanie.
Stephanie...
I don't remember Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Another narrow gauge engine. Not one of my favorites. I do like it. I do like him enough, but he's just one that I'm like, he's okay. I like Stephanie enough.
I would put him behind Sir Handel somewhere. That's kind of where my honestly, I probably would put him below Fergus as well.
I wouldn't. But above Murdoch, though.
Murdoch is a nothing character, Mason.
Okay, we can put him behind Birdmac. I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it, though, so...
Like, honestly, before Oliver, between Murdoch and Oliver.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I keep going to bat for Murdoch any longer, you guys are going to start putting him down tiers.
He's
All right.
confusion and delay.
Here's one I'm going to be interested in because I would have Terrence's really useful engine. Here's my favorite non-engine.
Is Terrence? I like Terrence's episode where he's in the snow. I like that episode where he saves Thomas in the snow.
I love that he has his treads. I love just like the design. I like Terrence. He'd be lower tier really useful, I really like Terrence.
I put him mid-tier shiny coat.
That's where I was thinking,
All
too.
right. Can I convince you to put him above Harold?
No. I don't think so.
I don't know if I'd put him
maybe.
above Harold.
You could...
I don't know if I'd put him above Harold.
All right.
but
Can I put him above Oliver?
Yes.
I guess you can put him above
All
Oliver.
right. I will compromise and I will let Terrence be below Harold, even though he should absolutely be ahead of Harold. All right. I'm pretty sure this is.
Well,
I'm
do we
pretty sure
even
I
have
can
to
just
say
do.
anything?
Can I just do that?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, he's
No,
got
wait, hold on.
he's got the number one on him for
No.
a reason.
Confusion and delay. No, I'm kidding.
Thumper.
Thumper is
That's the bunny from the Disney movie.
no Thumper is the jackhammer arms guy. Again, just kind of
Cool design, but kind of nothing.
a nothing character. Just behind the scenes stuff, I appreciate that he was the first model where they did him made him do more shit. But like I said, the Jack in the Pack characters are kind of.
Are we okay with top of Cinder and Ashes?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Coming down to the
Toad.
last one.
Toad, just again part of one of my favorite episodes, Busy Going Backwards. I love that episode.
Toad is cute.
Yeah, Toad is a character I really like because he's one of my favorite episodes is Busy Going Backwards.
All right.
so.
He's a little weird looking, but in a nice way.
I propose Toad being between Packard and Duncan.
No, I think that's too high.
Okay.
I'd go in between Buster and George.
Really?
All right. I mean,
Okay, maybe not that low.
again, I
See, I'm putting him like
Yeah, I like him
between Ned and Salty. That's where I'm thinking.
All right, I'm
I
good.
wouldn't put him above Salty though.
You wouldn't put him above Salty?
No,
I would, but that's me. All right, are we okay with one back, Salty and
Salty
Maximonti?
and Maximonti.
Yeah, that's.
I'm
yeah,
okay.
that's a
I'm
good-
okay with
that's a
that.
good place.
Okay, if I can. All right.
I don't love putting him above Murdoch,
I mean,
but I'm
we
not
already know
arguing
this
that
has
anymore.
to be. It's Toby.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
yes,
Toby.
absolutely.
Yeah, he's got to be.
The only
he's the
question
grandpa.
is, where in Really Useful Engine does Toby go?
Because Toby's the grandpa. Toby's the
I
grandpappy.
think I would put him 2.
Really that high.
I'm okay with it. Honestly, I'm okay with anywhere in this top area, but
I'd put him between James and Duck. But
I'd put him between Gordon and Edward.
really,
Yeah.
all right. Can we
I'm
compromise
okay
between? Let's go between Duck and Percy then.
Can we go Percy and Gordon?
I'm okay with that. I like Toby a lot, but
That's
I really like Toby. I think I just like Percy a little bit more.
all right. That's
it's
fair.
funny because Percy's the.
I think I like Toby slightly more, but it's enough that it's okay.
Because Percy's the
little.
little kid and Toby's the grandpa. So
All right, Trevor, the person who kind of replaced Terrence.
so you're like confusion and delay.
I don't mind Trevor. I just think that Terrence was a much cooler design.
Sure.
So,
Trevor's just another one. I kind of nothing. Like I don't really.
Because
love
he's
or-
another
He's a
Tractor,
tractor.
yeah.
But he has less of the cool mechanics that Terrence had. So like I would put him around Bulgy. Very similar. He's not.
I'd put him behind Murdoch and Stephanie.
Okay.
I'd put him between Stephanie and Oliver.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Because like Bulgy, the design is. Bulgy, I think, is actually a cooler design than Birdie, but just less personality.
Yeah.
Trevor is just—it's a fine design, but Terrence is such a cool design.
Well, Trevor's just nice. Trevor's like
Alright.
the nice guy. I really like his introduction episode where Edward saves him, but overall he's not a character I adore that much.
All right, Mason has already kind of tipped their hand that they really like the Troublesome Trucks.
I do really like the Troublesome Trucks.
Troublesome Trucks might be really useful for me. I really like the
love
Troublesome
them.
Trucks.
I love them, but I think I would have them behind Diesel 10.
I'd put them. No, I think they're more iconic than Diesel 10, though. I'd put them above. I know
And-
you're gonna hate me for this. I'd put them above Terrence. I'd put them in between Terrence and Harold.
I would put them above Harold if you were there, but Harold would be
I
lower
would
on
put
my
them
list.
above Harold.
For God damn it.
Diesel 10 is just the best villain. I understand that I understand the Troublesome Trucks are iconic.
Well, because the Troublesome Trucks, they're kind of like Diesel, the regular Diesel, where they're just assholes.
Yeah.
But Diesel 10, again, he's a fucking Bond villain.
And
He's a Bond villain in
just-
Thomas the Tank Engine.
Here is my argument for it. And I'm okay if we put him above, but here's my argument before we are there. I'm okay with putting Diesel above it, but I don't know if I'm okay with putting multiple of these troublemakers above Diesel 10, the best villain in the Thomas series.
Yeah, but he's man.
I wouldn't put him above Diesel 10 either, but like he's right behind. Is
All
where I
right,
put
you
him.
know,
Honestly, if I had a
can-
choice, I would put him below Henrietta. But I'm okay with us going.
Let's
up
go
in
right.
Shine
Yeah,
Cone.
go right behind Diesel 10.
We're right behind Diesel 10.
All right.
That's fine.
And then our last one, if I go down and find it, Tumbleweed.
Is it just literally
Can
a
we just
tumbleweed?
put it in cinders and confusion and delay?
We
'Cause
will.
It's literally just a tumbleweed.
That
Is
is
that even
What an
what?
anticlimax!
Well, our climax was Troublesome Trucks fight. So I think, what would we say our biggest contention is probably Spencer?
Yeah, I think
Spencer
so.
or Harold?
Yeah,
That's at least with Mason on it.
because I would put Spencer a hell of a lot higher.
For me, I think Terrence is a little low, Harold's a little high, and honestly, I think I would have Sir Handel a little bit higher. But
I'm honestly trying to think. Okay, Scarloi's high, Rusty's high. Honestly, it's a list I'm fairly satisfied with.
I don't know if
My-
I would. I don't know if I would have. I know how you feel about Duck, Sean, but I wouldn't have him like up with the OGs.
Duck is so cool.
I feel like that. It feels a little out of place along with these iconic.
You shut your mouth. Duck is. I love Duck.
Honestly, in retrospect, I think Lady might be low for my list, but
Do we-
but we can keep her there. It's fine.
Do we have?
Do
any
we
of
want
the,
as our last thing? The contention that I had with Lady was I don't know if I'd put her above Henrietta.
Right.
That was my contention on it.
I'd put her above Jack, personally.
So we'll do that. That's I think is the only change. I as we were going on, I think I was agreeing that Lady just felt a little low, but
I
do you agree? Or?
that's.
and
that's
oh look, we're moving Harold down.
what was I gonna say?
Oh no. Okay.
Are there any of the OG characters that we put below Shiny Coat of Paint?
I don't think so.
No. The OG, Henrietta is probably the only thing that we put below. Well, I mean, Ben and Bill, they're not OG, but they are pretty early on.
I mean, they appeared in the same season as Doug.
Yeah,
So.
Ben and Bill definitely are lower because.
I mean, honestly, I just thought of this. I might agree that with Mason that Harold's a little higher, just because Harold has a banging theme. But
he does.
I'm okay with him being there. I'm not going to bat for Harold.
I could not. I said I can't put him above Annie, Clarabelle, or Rheneas. I could probably put him above Spencer, and Terrence should be higher as well. But
Yeah. Overall, I'm.
But overall, I am satisfied. I am satisfied with this
satisfied
list.
with the list.
I am satisfied.
I think this list gives us kind of what we want. But yeah, what do you guys think? Tell us why we're wrong. Tell us where the list would be, and we'll be probably doing more of these things next time.